Many NFL players are hard-hitting, loud-mouthed, and full of intensity. This is why they fit in perfectly with pro wrestling. Through the years, the NFL and wrestling have collided with official matches, crazy confrontations, and a whole lot of shoulder tackles. See these memorable moments through the years and learn how much NFL players love the world of wrestling. Before you watch, tackle the subscribe button. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new content. Clay Matthews, special guest referee. In 2011, the Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl by defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers. 5 days later, WWE Smackdown happened to be rolling through the area, and many members of the Packers roster decided to celebrate their victory by sitting front row during Smackdown. Each player got their own replica title belt and proudly displayed it during the duration of the show. The most famous player there was defensive hero Clay Matthews, who got a roaring response from the hometown crowd. Seeing NFL players in a WWE audience is nothing new, but Matthews decided he wanted to get involved a little more. The main event of the night featured Edge defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Dolph Ziggler. Vicky Guerrero served as the special guest referee, but an ankle injury forced her out of the ring. This is when Clay Matthews showed up out of nowhere wearing a referee shirt. As Ziggler laid motionless from multiple spears, Matthews made the 3 count and raised Edge's hand in victory. The crowd went crazy for this moment, acting like the Packers had won the Super Bowl again. The rest of his teammates made their way to the ring to continue the celebration with Edge. Kevin Greene battles the NWO. During the NFL offseason, it's important for players to rest up, stay in shape, and remain healthy before training camps begin. Kevin Greene decided to toss out tradition and join the WCW instead. Greene is a Hall of Fame player known for his impressive sacking statistics and longevity in the sport. For multiple years, Kevin Greene would randomly appear in WCW to embark on a small feud that lasted during the spring and summer. His initial feud began with former NFL player Steve McMichael. It later led to a huge 6-man tag match at the 1997 Slamboree pay-per-view. While athletes like Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone were making headlines for their WCW appearances, Greene could actually carry a match in the ring. He took on the Giant in a one-on-one encounter and teamed up with Bill Goldberg to battle the NWO. Greene used a lot of power moves to take down opponents and showcased that he had the ability to participate in both wrestling and the NFL. Unfortunately for him, a no wrestling clause was added to his football contract, ending his time in WCW. Obviously, the team owner and coaches felt it was too dangerous to risk an injury through wrestling. Rob Gronkowski's WrestleMania moment. The hype and excitement surrounding WrestleMania is always enough to draw out big stars. These stars may hang out backstage, watch matches from premium seats, or in Rob Gronkowski's case, get involved with a match. During the pre-show for WrestleMania 33, Gronkowski stood in the front row to cheer on his old football buddy Mojo Rawley. Mojo was a participant in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. With only 3 competitors remaining, Jinder Mahal threw Mojo through the second rope, meaning he still wasn't eliminated from the match. Jinder had a few choice words for Gronkowski, and that's all it took for the New England Patriots player to get in on some of the action. Gronk jumped the rail, was briefly stopped by security who had no clue it was all a work, and entered the ring. This is when he got all charged up and delivered a powerful running shoulder tackle to Jinder Mahal. Mahal went flying across the ring, really selling the tackle and making Gronk seem like the top defensive player he isn't. The quick assist helped Mojo get the victory as he eliminated Mahal and celebrated his victory with Gronkowski. We're guessing they spent the rest of the night staying hyped. Brandon Jacobs table smash. For some reason, it has become a trend for NFL players to celebrate Super Bowl wins by getting into physical confrontations with the pro wrestler. This was the case for Brandon Jacobs shortly after he won the Super Bowl back in 2012. In the weeks following the team's epic win over the New England Patriots, Jacobs appeared on Impact Wrestling to support his friend, James Storm. Bully Ray decided to poke the Beast by insulting him, getting up close, and spitting beer in his face. The incident led to Jacobs being featured in the main event of the Impact episode the following week. Jacobs stood in the corner of James Storm and Jeff Hardy as they took on Bully Ray and Kurt Angle in a tag team match. Near the end of the match, Jacobs entered the ring to confront Bully Ray. Both men stood in a three-point stance, but it was all a ruse on Jacobs' part so Storm could enter the ring again. Storm pummeled Bully Ray, and Jacobs took advantage by chokeslamming him through a table. Bully Ray crashed and collapsed through the table, much like the Patriots did to the Giants just a few weeks prior. Walter Payton joined SummerSlam. Razor Ramon has had some odd allies through the years, but none was stranger than his random alliance with former NFL running back Walter Payton. With the 1994 SummerSlam taking place in Chicago, the WWE went looking for a hometown hero to make an appearance on the show. Legendary Bears running back Walter Payton fit the bill and became involved in the Intercontinental title match between Razor Ramon and Diesel. Payton's primary role was to serve as an enforcer, so Shawn Michaels wouldn't interfere to help Diesel win the match. While it would have been fitting for him to wear a Chicago Bears jersey, Payton wore one of the ugliest Razor Ramon shirts ever sold by the WWE. Yep, the NFL Hall of Famer wore a shirt that said, "Oozing Machismo." Despite wearing the ugly shirt, Payton was able to scare off Michaels for a majority of the match. He didn't get physical, but did have a tug of war with Michaels when Shawn tried sneaking the belt into the ring and hitting Ramon with it. Payton's effort was worth it as Razor got the victory and won his second Intercontinental Championship. I guess oozing machismo can really help you win. Phew! Don't worry, we have plenty more NFL players appearing in pro wrestling. But first, a quick trivia question. Stay tuned until the end for the answer. Plenty of NFL players have made their mark in pro wrestling appearances, but some have transitioned from the NFL to a full-time career. Can you name which two WWE superstars were formerly members of the Minnesota Vikings roster? A wasted WrestleMania main event. What's your favorite WrestleMania of all time? Chances are you probably didn't say WrestleMania 11. Up and down, the card was full of duds, forgettable matches, and one of the worst main events of all time. After sitting through a card of boring matches, Salt and Peppa took the stage to sing and introduce NFL great Lawrence Taylor as the main event opponent for Bam Bam Bigelow. At the Royal Rumble a few months earlier, Bigelow had a confrontation with Taylor, which led to the booking of this match. If you thought Brock Lesnar's endless suplexes were boring, then you haven't seen anything like Taylor's endless barrage of shoulder tackles on Bigelow. The ring was surrounded by supporters on both sides, including some of Taylor's football buddies. When it comes to celebrities and WrestleMania matches, it's pretty easy to admit that Snooki had more wrestling talent than Taylor. The match may have gotten some mainstream media hype, but fans probably feel like they wasted their money with this boring match. Taylor ended the match and are suffering by hitting a flying forearm on Bigelow's skull and easily pinning him. Not only was this a terrible WrestleMania main event, but it completely killed Bigelow's career in the WWE. The Steelers guest host WWE Raw. Back in 2009, the WWE went through an obnoxious stage where random celebrities and athletes would guest host Raw. While there were some entertaining gems, a lot of it felt like a huge waste of time. One of these was the appearance of Ben Roethlisberger and his offensive line from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Roethlisberger was shaky on the microphone, didn't provide much entertainment, and did nothing to really enhance the show. During one segment, he was confronted by the Big Show and Chris Jericho. This is when Ben introduced his offensive line. In a cliche moment, the whole line got into their three-point stance and were ready to take on a charging Big Show. The Big Show retreated and no physical altercations took place. The main reason for this is that the Steelers team hosted Raw in the middle of the NFL season. There was no way these players were going to take a chance at getting injured while the season was taking place. The quarterback tried to get fan applause and cheers by having DX's Triple H and Shawn Michaels join them in the ring. But it was just the same old by-the-numbers dance and celebration the group always partakes in. Bart Scott jets to the ring. Bart Scott's actions on the NFL field made him look like a professional wrestler. He's hard-hitting, threatened violence against the media, and even threw the referee's flag back at him during a game. Played a majority of his career with the Baltimore Ravens before joining the New York Jets for his final season in the league. While with the Jets, Scott took an opportunity to appear on TNA's Impact Wrestling. The episode of choice may have been an odd one, but at least Scott got a chance to shine. In the main event of the night, Karen Angle and Jeff Jarrett were set to wed in the middle of the ring, with Kurt Angle proceeding over the ceremony. Just before the ceremony could end, Angle pulled out an axe, destroyed the whole set, and sent Jeff and Karen far away from their in-ring chapel. This is when Eric Bischoff ignored police and security protocol for stopping an axe-wielding wrestler and decided to send out Bart Scott instead. Scott confronted Angle and shoved him around the ring. He would pay for his troubles as Angle quickly took down Scott and applied his ankle lock submission. Much like the Jets, Scott faltered under pressure and failed to finish. WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal. Back in the 1980s, WrestleMania was still growing into the sports entertainment extravaganza it's known as today. This is why the WWE pulled out all the stops for WrestleMania 2. The event took place in 3 different arenas, with each location getting a marquee match. One of the first main events was a Battle Royal pitting NFL stars against WWE stars. NFL players like Ernie Holmes, Bill Fralick, Russ Francis, and William the Refrigerator Perry took on WWE superstars like Bret Hart, Big John Studd, the Iron Sheik, and Tony Atlas. Unfortunately for the NFL players, the true star of this battle royal was Andre the Giant. Andre managed to fight his way through the whole battle royal without eliminating a single competitor. He then had to deal with a 2-on-1 attack from the Hart Foundation after all the NFL players were tossed over and gone. The chaotic nature of the Battle Royal helped cover up the fact that a majority of these NFL players really had no clue what they were doing in the ring. It would be pretty awesome to see a modern-day version of this match with some of today's big NFL stars mixing it up with current WWE wrestlers. Michael Strahan guest hosts Raw. It's pretty hard to flip through network television and not see Michael Strahan's smiling mug on the screen. He's a host on Good Morning America, appears on Fox NFL coverage during the weekends, and even takes the time to host game shows on ABC. Even with all this work, Strahan managed to take time to host WWE Raw back in 2013. Strahan went all in on his hosting duties, appearing in numerous segments and interacting with multiple WWE superstars. During an odd backstage segment, Strahan is approached by Eric Rowan in a sheep mask. Without saying a word, he hands Strahan his own sheep mask and he puts it on. They just stare at each other until Rowan walks away. Along with wearing the Wyatt family sheep mask, one of Strahan's best moments was appearing on a segment of Miz TV. As Titus O'Neil mocked Strahan and the gap in his teeth, he took it all in good stride. He then got into a physical altercation with The Miz, where he delivered a hip toss to the wrestler. The Miz seemed pretty impressed by the move, but we all know we wanted Strahan to deliver just a little more punishment to the loudmouth superstar. Thanks for watching. Now for your trivia answer. Both Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns were signed to the Minnesota Vikings. Lesnar played in a few preseason games while Reigns was signed to the Vikings for less than a month. Wow, there you have it. What is your favorite NFL pro wrestling appearance? Are there any we missed? What NFL players do you want to see appear now? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to The Sportster on YouTube so you can stay up to date with our awesome videos.